watching the clock, 10,000 hours go by. I keep putting in work, the tears are filling my eyes. I swear I've never been tested like this, but this is mine. It's not a matter of chance, just a matter of time. Never look back. If something standing in my way, I always push back. If something seemed impossible, I never took that. Nah, cause now I know better. Can't stop, won't stop, I won't quit ever. This world is won't take me. The highest fall, it won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me. I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
Today's matchup: JAG GreenWings, BBQ Olivers, The Fantastic Run.
Welcome back, guys. We're back from the extended break there after Gen G took down Kingzone 2-0. Now it's time for the biggest matchup that we have this week. Forget the telecom war, Papa Smithy. It's BBQ versus JAG GreenWings time.
Well, I think you're convincing yourself, Achilles, because I spy with my little eye about 7 fans in the audience.
This is how I have to get through this series. I have to pretend that this is like the grand final of everything. I have to believe.
How you doing
Otherwise,
on that one?
I am going to just suffer through this.
I mean, if you like Glad Planes, at least there's one of those in the workings here.
That's true.
JAG
Glad
did
Planes are
beat
good.
BBQ very recently, only 6 days ago is this particular rematch. You see JAG versus BBQ is currently 9th versus 10th, right down the bottom. By the way, we didn't forget to note the wins for BBQ. There are none, so they don't even get a W.
Yeah, that's not a...
You gotta earn your W's, baby.
That is not a mistake. Yeah, we don't even give them the 0.
No.
It's just a heavily implied, in your face, they have got nothing.
They're looking at the blue W's and saying, I'd love a blue W. Well, you gotta earn one, BBQ.
Can I at least just get one?
No.
Probably not, but this is maybe their only, their final, last realistic chance to actually take a win here versus JAG, but JAG are coming off the back of a win over BBQ themselves and a 2-1 victory over Kingzone, so momentum definitely going to be on their side. BBQ need to pull out all of the stops if they want to try to get the victory here over the JAG GreenWings.
And you know, one way to do that would be around their mid laner. You wouldn't say that at any point earlier in the season, but Grace had some great series back-to-back with Counterpick. Also, the Kindred is going to be a really big one in this series. Umti and Trick.
Yep.
We're going to love those spoilers. Trick is playing. But Grace, a player who really has struggled for relevance in his first year as a pro player. His Renekton against Kled looked great. His LeBlanc looked great. This guy has looked great with Counterpick. But starting on the blue side, not always the easiest to counterpick the mid laner from blue.
Well, we'll see what JAG has in mind. Like you said, the Kindred's certainly going to be heavily contested. Don't think it's going to be banned away. BBQ kind of have to shoehorn their bans in to the likes of the Nocturne, the Aatrox, and the Taliyah in all likelihood, unless they want to deviate from that trend, which could just allow for JAG to scoop that up, give Umti a very reliable, aggressive pick out of the jungle. On the other side, it's BBQ Olivers. Not going to be seeing any changes to this roster. It's exactly what you might anticipate. Trick in the jungle with Ghost at 80 carry. But, yeah, I mean, it's just been struggle streak. There's no other way to put it. They've picked up 3 game wins this entire time and 20 game losses.
The numbers are not good. Bono has also been an experiment that's gone a bit wrong, so Trick will retain his spot. I thought Trick's Kindred looked very good, and Bono struggled on the pick. There is definitely talent on the BBQ roster, but put 5 talented players together and expect results, and it doesn't always come together. Achilles, think of CJ in 2016 with BDD, Haru, and other players. Kramer and Madlife, of course, the bot lane, and Untara had a good season back there, so there was talent there on CJ. Never came together as a 5. You already alluded to it. If not today, the run only gets more difficult for BBQ.
They've at least picked up 2 of their game wins against good teams.
Your voice is getting to weird octaves, so you're getting to false positive scenarios here.
There's nothing much more I can say, Papa Smithy.
You're getting to Kramer territory now.
Yeah.
If you want to cast this series as Kramer, that's fine also.
It's okay, I'll go back to my natural voice. It's been bad. It's been real bad.
And yet,
The KDAs on both sides are also real bad.
yeah, 2 versus 2.4. That means 20% more for Jin Air, but not very much altogether. See how this one goes, because I think this could turn into kind of a grand final game for BBQ, because really, after this day, it gets harder. They've already lost to MVP twice. Now they're facing BBQ. They're facing Jin Air for the second time. After that, it's teams above them, and that's always been a difficult one for them to get over. In the past, though, this has been one of the matchups they've done well in. Famously, BBQ would always lose to MVP, but most of the time, they'd be beating Jin Air. Didn't look like beating them in the first round robin just 6 days ago. And let's see how they do today. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, I mean, how the times have changed since 2017 summer and spring of this year. It's just been very downhill for these guys. Key player, as you were already talking about him, is going to be Grace in the mid lane here for Jin Air. GreenWings brought out the Renekton, absolutely crushed the Kled, 11.0.
Double MVP for a player who didn't have many MVPs beforehand. He looked wonderful against MVP on blue and red side. Both games are great. Let's see how he does here, because, you know, like I mentioned, he played in the Kesper Cup as Yaharong and looked pretty good. He didn't look like it was going to be the next FLICKR or anything.
I forgot that was his name.
That was him, and he was pretty good. But then he came into the LCK, and pretty good wasn't enough to be able to be anything more than competitive. You know, take CS against the enemy. Certainly wasn't solo killing or anything flashy. He's had some time, and some players take a long time. You think of Songwon and Linderong. They needed 3 splits before they really showed anything.
Yep.
Grace is in his second, has had a great game coming off his most impressive performance. But I think SpoTV and OGN have been highlighting around the jungle when has been playing. We get versus Trick, and we're seeing that Kindred is going to be the pick between these two. In fact, maybe BBQ. This is the team that has left open Nocturne, has left open Talia. I think maybe you have to leave one of those open and ban away the Kindred instead.
You can see damage per minute numbers out of the jungle not going to be that high, especially with the Sejuani trends that we've been seeing as of late. But a 32 difference or so coming out? Yeah. Between 4th place and 9th place. Oh boy. There's going to be bloodthirst. Hopefully there's that Kindred there for one of these junglers, so we can get some action rolling in early. But fan vote is very dominantly going to be in favor of the Jin Air GreenWings. BBQ Olivers, 22%. So the faithful fans out there still putting their votes forward, trying to support them as best they can.
And the Jin Air fans have been seduced by the Glad plane. They just want to see it smiling, flying up in the air, and it's a good chance to go 3-0. Who knows how many more wins there will be after this series, as Jin Air is getting better, and maybe they can sneak some wins off other teams. We're going to see how they do today against BBQ. Jin Air coming off that win, huge win over Kingzone, big upset on that day, facing the BBQ Olivers today. And for BBQ, you alluded to it a couple of times, Achilleos. They're already 0-10. If they lose for a second time to Jin Air GreenWings, there aren't many chances left.
Yeah. Well, Khan banned away off the bat, trying to target out Ignar a bit. We'll see if he is going to get some more support bans here from Jin Air. Honestly, probably one of the main players that you should be targeting. And yep, Morgana also going to be taken away. BBQ shoehorned into the regular bans, it would seem, as they start things off with the Aatrox.
Now, because of the quirk of these teams playing 6 days ago, they are playing again on patch 8.13. Not often you see a team play twice in Best of Series on the same patch. There is that little difference of the hot fixes being enabled today. So Aatrox, that bit stronger. Varus, that bit stronger. We can actually look at the pick ban that happened last time out. Jin Air versus BBQ. Were some things left open on that day. was allowed to pick the Nocturne on blue side. It wasn't a Kindred ban, but the Kindred meta has come on in the past week. They're considering between Kindred and Nocturne here. Would you consider also just banning neither and taking one? BBQ going through all the machinations. Again, normally it would be Nocturne at this spot, and BBQ say, let's go for the 50-50 and see which one you want more.
Yep, and it's just going to be a very fast lock on the Nocturne. So Umpty feeling confident with that pick, which means that Trick likely just going to go ahead and take that Kindred.
Now, if we remember, they left Nocturne open on red side. Again, that was the second game of the series. While BBQ went on to lose that game, the Nocturne didn't do much. That was actually the game where Teddy was on Rise in the front line and just owning everyone in a huge Teddy carry. So BBQ say, we'll trade the Nocturne for the Kindred. You have to assume Kindred will come out here, and they're also going to take Galio, so the chicken dance is on the way, baby.
All right. Well, so far leaving it up. Now covering Zach for the moment, but Shen maybe just the lock-in. Deny that one away from Jin Air, so they don't get the, I guess, nuclear sub-comp, if you want to call it that.
I'm excited. We've got the Galio, so that means we're going to be seeing the chicken dance from BBQ with their own skin. Thanks, Riot Games. In BBQ a skin. They really decide between many things, and they leave open Shen. That's really risky, as Nocturne and Shen together tend to do a lot of dunking, as Griffin showed us very early in the season.
Yeah, odd decision so far from the side of BBQ. Just take the Ezreal for Ghost in the bot lane.
Problem with that also is that you want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, it's because they got the mind games going, but they're 0 and 10, so the mind games, it's pretty hard to give them too much respect for.
They're mind gaming themselves.
To be fair, it seems like Jin Air's not that interested in Shen. They're going to take the Tahm Kench instead,
Okay.
denying away the Genji duo of Ezreal, Tahm Kench. When you go for a Galio comp, Ezreal's one of the most annoying marksmen to face, so I can understand prizing the Ezreal. But to me, the cost seems too damn high, so surprising. In the end, it might not matter because they've gone for the Tahm Kench here, Jin Air. What else do they want to take in the first round? This is the same draft. Anivia into Galio, 2 series in a row. Now, that was after a lot of bruisers were locked in, and you see Anivia as the counter to 4 to 5 bruiser comps. Ezreal's already here. It's unlikely to be bruiser heavy, so this is a bit more of a bold Anivia draft than the last time we saw it from Grace.
It's like, hey, you know, I got a perfect KDA. Screw it, why not? Let's go for the Anivia again.
If you want Kindred, you're probably going to have to take it now. And maybe there won't be a Kindred.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to see Pyke locked in.
Yeah, so maybe we just get the Kindred banned away now by Jin Air.
Curious, they did hover the Zac earlier, and Zac versus Nocturne is another level 6 versus level 6 jungle matchup you could consider. But surprising to see Zoe banned, a Nocturne given up, and no Kindred taken to kind of tier list, make things a bit more even. Continuing to ban away the marksman. Gotta say, Teddy has had some impressive performance on non-marksman. The Swain was banned by Jin Air on the blue side, but Swain and Rise have both been impressive performers for him, so we'll see if Teddy will be on marksman duty today or not.
Mundo banned by Jin Air. Kindred still on the table at the moment for BBQ. What do you want to go for it? Gonna ban away the Darius.
A lot of top laners have now been accounted for when it comes to meta top laners. Gragas is probably going to be selected by one of the 2 teams, as Gragas is becoming a fast, reliable topside pick. I guess reliable might not be the best thing to say after our last series.
Acceptable.
Where there was some reliable engage by good old Khan.
I mean, well, I don't know what you're talking about. The cast was perfectly timed.
You know, factually you're right, but I would say that also there's some facetiousness about that point. As BBQ, oh boy, are they going to do it? Are we really going there? As Ivern, a famous pick for Trick, he says he doesn't get the chance to play this too often as his team vetoes him. He could still be playing it in this game.
Could, if the Gragas ends up in the top lane. So we'll see. They flash it for the moment.
Teddy's been hovering this Jhin, and Stormrazor Jhin is pretty damn strong, but against Galio Gragas, it feels pretty bad to me on paper. But the laning phase against Ezreal can be very powerful because your last auto, of course, not a skill shot, it does follow the Ezreal. So I think they're trying to dunk lane here with the Jhin. Jhin Tahm Kench not going to be able to push that hard, but surprising to see the Jhin one way or the other. We talked about Rise before, and this would be a top lane Rise, Cuvée style. They don't know the matchup. It could be Gragas, it might not be. They're going to take the gangplank anyway.
Okay. GP to be safe, just have a farming lane up top.
All right, Trick.
BBQ, how do they piece this together?
We're doing a lot of flexing here. The Gragas, of course, can be a jungle pick if they want it to be. What are we doing, though? Because this would be some real crazy stuff. Ignar likes to hover Blitzcrank, so we're not trying to give too much credit to it until it's actually locked. Waiting for the final second.
Trundle.
Here is the jungler. It's going to be Jungle Trundle. against the Nocturne. That's not the matchup we were expecting, but Nocturne can be ahead of the curve and definitely do some counter jungling pre-6. So overall, the draft has definitely taken some weird twists and turns. It is 9th versus 10th, so of course, priorities are always going to be a bit different. Teddy's had some great games recently, but he's going to be against 4 tanks. Well, 3 tanks. I don't think we can really call Pyke a tank. 3 tanks and an Ezreal. Goes for the Jhin anyway. Jhin can snowball very hard with the Stormrazor build, and the Stormrazor was hotfix buffed on patch 8.13. We'll have to see how the lane goes there. And another visit to the Anivia from Grace that he won an MVP on against Kingza.
All right, well. The Anivia coming out yet again for Grace. We'll see if he can get another MVP win. And Teddy bringing out the Jhin. Certainly, 80 carries already. At a big market low. Have not seen that many of them. Now he brings out the Jhin, which is definitely a very rare case.
I pulled up the market. Sell was on the Jhin until today. So apparently he's going to ignore those economist forecasts and go in for what is on paper risky, but Jhin is a sleeper. Very powerful champ in solo queue. If it's against a squishy lineup with a Kindred, I actually love the Jhin. This is a riskier choice, but it's against BBQ, who are the 10th place team. It has a good laning phase against 2 squishies, Ezreal, Pyke. Have no health between them. We'll have to wait and see how things go, because In Teddy We Trust has been the Jhin Air way for the better part of 2 years.
Well, let's see if he can pull off the win. BBQ pretty standard across the board here. We'll see how that Gragas does into the Gangplank matchup up top. BBQ desperate for a win. Have only had 3 game wins so far. No matches. Can they put one on the board here today? Might just be their last attempt. Jhin Air, they want to ride that wave of momentum. They want to take down BBQ. Let's see if they can do it to jump onto the Rift. We get our double birds in the mid lane.
Chicken Dance already started. Come on, Observer. You're letting us down. It went away from the Chicken Dance. Really poor effort there by the Observer. Why are we watching Nova go back? As we're going to check out some Jhin Air fans.
Humpty and Teddy, cheering for them.
Good news, I can count the fans, and there's way more than 7 now, so we're much happier.
That's true.
It's not a full house.
There's at least 9 now.
If you'd like some free chicken and some League of Legends, you can come down to the Sangami Stadium.
Yep.
You know what? We've got Walk Up tickets available.
Absolutely. You might even be able to walk in for free, but I can't make any promises on that. The chicken's free, so it's worth the ticket price.
And look at this. Teddy's going for the new tech, Hail of Blades. First time we're seeing it in the LCK. That's fun. Been buffed 100,000 times since it was released.
Really been trying to get that one in the mix.
So remember, it's about the burst of attack speed for 3 autos. Remember that Jhin converts attack speed into attack damage, so it actually just makes him hit really hard. And by the time he gets to his 4th shot, he doesn't usually need so much encouragement to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and that's what Jin's all about, is hitting real hard. That's what he was born to do.
Well, Stormrazor Hail of Blades going to be sick burst at 1.5 items in the bot lane side. I imagine it's going to be Stormrazor into the rapid fire cannon, because the other change here was that the calculation for the maximum crit damage, 200% damage on the Stormrazor, is when you finish your first seal item, not when you get a further crit item. So 2-item Jhin is now even more powerful than it was before, and Hail of Blades means it scales in a million different ways. So I imagine there's going to be celerity, it's going to be Hail of Blades, it's going to be some nice AD values. I implore OGN to keep the bottom left info over the Jhin during some of the fights when he gets Stormrazor, because you're going to see some interesting spikes in AD that you might not expect.
Well, for now, farm phase going pretty standard. Just going to be dead even here, but Tempt, of course, going to be taking the front end of some of these exchanges. Grace is just going to be dodging around the winds, and oh boy, it wouldn't be a Jhin Air versus BBQ series without a pause, Papa Smithy.
That's true. Seems to be in the BBQ booth, as Ghost is having some issues. He hasn't taken a trade against Stormrazor Jhin yet, so it can't be related to that.
Yeah, he's not tilted yet. It's not a tilt pause.
Hopefully his Sennheiser headset hasn't let him down.
You know, I've had some for years now, quite reliable, so hopefully that's not it. She's like, yeah, there's a Jhin on my screen. What is that?
Look, I know it's funny. Jhin Air. Yeah, but what's this champion?
I didn't think the draft was real.
Oh, there seems to be a report that there may be some sort of bug, so this would be a game issue if that's the case. But hopefully Not too big. At least if there was a bug, the chrono break wouldn't have to be too online.
We don't have to rewind it too much. Grace is like, oh man, I poked him so much.
It sounds like a champion issue. I also want him to be pointing at the keystone, being like, wait, what's this on the buff bar?
Yeah.
Is that Hail of Blades on the Jin's buff bar? I don't know why I left-clicked the Jin to find his buff bar, but bit weird. Well, there, of course, is Teddy on the screen. He's ready to show us the new tech that I talked about in solo queue. There is a lot of fun with the Storm. Because remember, Storm Razor also gives you movement speed.
Yep.
And Celerity was nerfed to not give you as much movement speed, but convert bonus movement speed into more AD. So when you go Hail of Blades and Storm Razor, you have so many different attack speed and movement speed modifiers going on that actually turns out to being just a sick amount of damage out of nowhere.
Let's see if we get to enjoy that.
I think we will.
After we figure out whether or not there is, in fact, a bug.
If he doesn't build Storm Razor, I'm going to pause the game and talk about a Teddy build issue. So we're getting news that the Ezreal was involved in a farming scenario, but somehow maybe there was some sort of movement issue that happened there. That'd be a weird bug.
Seems like he might have missed CS because Ezreal stopped
responding
to...
We're getting live
inputs.
Updates here, by the way,
Joel,
guys.
Joel is very centrally whispering these things.
So it seems like it's a last hitting issue if this was Spo TV.
Yeah.
Game
like
issue.
it.
Well, he's going to just laugh a little bit, understanding that perhaps not the most pivotal issue of all time, but we don't want the players to have to deal with any errors in code. So we're doing a VAR here. I imagine a video-assisted replay to understand what the issue was.
All right.
I didn't know what VAR was when I started to explain what VAR was.
You
but
did
I
not
got
know.
there, didn't I?
You did not
Didn't
know
I?
when you started
I
that
YOLO'd
sentence.
it pretty good.
But it's probably pretty correct.
Well, that's actually the subtitle of Papa's Mad Life, the current episode we're on right now.
Probably pretty correct?
Yes.
All right.
And a VAR in brackets somewhere there.
Oh, boy.
That's the secret of being a broadcaster. There's often sentences you begin,
and you have no idea where it's going.
Because it's your turn to talk, but you actually don't know where you're going with your sentence until it's partway through.
Yeah, and you're just pulling words out of your pockets and throwing them into the sentence.
And then also doing some Chandler-esque like emphasis on words you shouldn't like.
Yeah.
And really, there's a lot of things going on here. So if you guys want any advice at home, just random emphasis on words. What could go wrong? Tell them Papa sent you.
There's very little pre-planning when it comes down to
So apparently one minion was affected by this, and one minion can be the difference in back timing.
Yeah.
So I know some people will scoff, but it seems like the error in the game, if it was an error in the game, was at the sacrifice of one minion.
Hey, man, every time somebody misses a minion, they say, NA farming or cannon, all that kind of stuff.
So we have
it's really important that he gets that.
Good news. There was no problem. In fact, he just missed a CS.
Okay, so it's actually just Ghost thinking that there's a bug because he missed a minion, but he just missed it.
Given that Ghost has struggled a little bit, you'd think Teddy would be the one to pull that pause, because this man hits superhuman CS most of the time. Regardless, it seems like one CS was the worst-case scenario, so good news. We're back in the game.
10th place, by the way.
Hey, man, if you're in 10th place, you need every damn minion you can get. You don't give up minions, Achilleos.
Yeah.
Have you seen chat when someone misses a cannon? It's a disaster.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't want that to happen. So he's like, please, it has to be a bug.
Well, we're seeing a teleport, actually.
It's just going to be Tempt.
Yeah,
He's just coming back. He's chilling out. He's next to the mid lane. He's making sure that Trick can pick up that Scuttle Crab nice and easily.
We don't have a Scuttle Crab counter, but we'll assume it's advantage Trick on the Scuttle Crabs.
Yeah, he's got the top and the
I think it was
right
actually two. Yeah, wow, okay. Mainline the Scuttle Crabs.
He is crushing it.
Umti should pause the game.
Yeah.
Scuttle Crab issue. I tried to last hit it, but I wasn't on screen.
I wasn't in the same quadrant of the map.
It's a tough life sometimes on the Rift. We'll see if Teddy puts a point in the in the E at level 4. Some people leave it till level 8 for those traps. Wait, see, I wanted to call it Deadly Flourish, but I remembered that was the W.
Oh man, look at this.
Captive Audience, is that the right? I think it's called Captive Audience.
Yes.
I just call it the trap.
Yes,
so,
it is. Sure. I think trap is easier for people to understand.
That's true. There are definitely some skill names that aren't
so
very
on.
informational. Crazy's low on mana, otherwise he'd be looking for some pirate for dinner.
Yeah, this would be pretty rough.
Ooh, Grace, the last hit on the cannon on the turret. Will he use E? Ooh, goes for the last hit. That's risky.
Yeah.
How many he's going to get? Oh, we're not going to know. OGN's trolling us.
Damn
really
you
hard
observers!
We need every bit of action we can in Jin versus BBQ. Don't rob us of action.
And now the CS, the pressure is on so much higher after all of the ghost issues there.
What a yucky back timing for So1. Got boots and a Sapphire Crystal. Would have loved a Sheen, but couldn't afford it.
He is down considerably right now.
Emotionally, and also in CS.
He should be pretty up emotionally. He took out King Zone.
He didn't get a Sheen on first back. It feels really bad.
Okay, so I mean, he could feel worse, but he should still be overall up.
That's true. BBQ need to shake off whatever feelings of sadness they have at their predicament. Seem basically locked into relegations. They lose about 2 more. We're getting to maximum 5 match wins territory, and 5 match wins has been a relegation total before. I think the moment that you are maximum 3, you're basically mathematically eliminated.
I mean, the question is, can they go the entire season without winning a single match?
You know, that would be the first time. 1-17 is the previous worst score.
I mean, you know, we've seen it in other esports titles.
Shanghai Dragons,
Yep.
Who you're referring to.
Undersight. Though, 0-40. Pretty. Looks way worse on paper.
I don't understand people that aren't hyped about the fact that they went 0-40. That's really hard to do.
That's an accomplishment.
They had multiple signing windows. They changed their roster and went 0-40. That's so hard.
While still trying to win.
There's going to be a great documentary made about that run. Getting another update, actually, here from Joel, letting us know about the bug report. So a game issue was potentially what was involved there. Hoping that it's not going to repeat, but just letting you guys know that there is the potential there could be future pauses going on.
Yeah, if it happens again at a very critical juncture in the game, then we might have a very extended break, and maybe we have to chrono break. So we'll have to find out what happens. But yeah, if it's about the CS, then it's probably not that big of a deal. But if something happens in the middle of a team fight, then perhaps we have a very big problem.
That was Joel's word. I wonder what's slightly more than a CS, but also not as critical. Like, what is the scale? Because missing a CS sucks.
Yeah.
Is a cannon the same as missing a CS? You know, it's a lot of CS.
It is a lot of. It's a lot of gold.
Joel confirms it'll be the same. Feels bad. As a nice little blue buff steal. Trick got both scuttles, stole away the blue. Gotta say, the Trundle doing a good job of trolling Umti. They left open the Nocturne. They didn't go for the Kindred like we might expect. That's been a nice little early jungling phase from Trick.
Yep. Good forward control ward right there in the brush as well. Nobody paths into it, so they can just go ahead, get vision on the Nocturne. But now it's going to be a Devour coming through, a flash away from Ghost. But yeah, it's not going to be enough to save him. Noah flashing forward, looking for the kill steal, but will not find it. Teddy comes up with first blood on his Jhin.
Well, I assume he went for a recall that he couldn't go for because he actually got chomped down. That doesn't happen. That required 3 autos on an Ezreal. Usually very hard to do. We'll need a replay on that one.
Yeah, we don't have a pause this time, so clearly we have not hit critical mass for this potential bug. So
that seemed really low-hanging fruit to make a joke about more.
Seems like it's just going to be Ghost. Oh, I'm here for the low-hanging fruit, Papa. I'm not here that often. I got to get what I can.
You really shouldn't die in lane as Ezreal.
Oh no, absolutely not.
That's the point of Ezreal, to not die. Can I introduce Morgana bot lane if Ezreal is too much a risk for you?
Oh dear.
Let's watch the replay. Teddy walked up.
Okay.
And Nova was apparently just in position to and the deadly flash. Nicely done. Okay, that was I haven't played against Jhin problem, rather than necessarily walking up for 3 autos. Oops.
I believe, I mean, we don't see the cooldown, so he might have just had his shift that entire time. Hard to say. So on though, getting dove on. Body slam not really going to connect, and here comes the Paranoia. It's going to be golden here for the side of Crazy as he goes low. Umti barely manages to stay alive for a little bit longer, but will get taken down in the end. Trick going golden as well. So on still alive, so the original target going to survive, but they managed to get the Nocturne.
Ladies and gentlemen, stopwatch, the meta. A 2-part play played by Jhin and BBQ was won by BBQ. They managed to get the kill for a lot of resources. Teddy has Swifties and a BF sword, which lets you know he hits like a truck, and BBQ really struggling in the bot lane.
He is going to be quite far ahead. Now they're looking for maybe a repeat gank in onto So on. Throws down a barrel. Here comes Crazy. Here comes Trick. That's going to be the pillar coming through. Flash is still available. Flash is down the river. And Grace is roaming up, so will just be the call for retreat from Crazy and Trick.
It seems like we have very clear battle lines of where the teams are strong and weak. Jin Air bossing around bot lanes, such as Teddy, and top side, BBQ trying to set up around there. They've got the Nocturne down. They've taken the flash away from GP. He still has a stopwatch, so killing him is going to be a couple more visits. But Trick has definitely been the more active jungler here. Well, that's surprising against the Nocturne, but he's made it work in a way that's impressive. Good to see from Trick. And just in the 2v2 with a Tahm Kench support, it's a 35% health turret and a 23 CS lead. This is Teddy flexing with the new tech of the Hail of Blades.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw it. You know, just push in underneath the tower when you have that fourth shot ready to go. Hit the Ezreal, the Devour comes through before you take the turret shot, and you just walk out of there, rinse and repeat.
I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of going tank Ezreal against it either, because now you can't even trade.
Oh yeah, he is going for Iceborne.
And he's gone for the Glacial probably because of gold values, but you always want to go Sheen, just so you can actually hope to trade, because now you're just saying, I hurt a little bit less, rather than I can trade with you.
Yeah. Well, the tower is the main thing getting punished here. So Bumsy's going to be chilling out in mid, but killing Tempt even at this point, probably still going to be a bit of a task as they wait for the items to roll through. Warrior and Chant just about done.
Double Iceborne Gauntlet expected from BBQ. A lot of AD threats on the side of Jin Air, so you understand it. I just mean in terms of laning items, Glacial Shroud feels really bad. You don't often see someone sitting on one or someone buying one this early. It is resolved tree gangplank, something we did discuss, but went for the ability to face a implied Comet Gragas that can have a lot of lane presence, and just wanted to sustain through as so on. Here we go.
Hello, Hero's entrance coming down. Uptake, gonna get a little bit of damage taken there. As he gets the fear off onto Trick. Grace wrapping around. Good for a 3v3.
A lot of people could be coming here.
About to be in range as well. So on gets a little bit of damage. The wall coming down. Trying to lock Trick in here. Stun connecting in onto Crazy. As we see that Trundle going dangerously low. One final shot there is going to find it. Teddy gets the kill. Now opens up for the curtain call. Shot Barrage not going to hit him. He finds the shot there on the Tempt. The final comes in. Just popping out that Galio. And they can follow up for the kill here underneath the tower. So on taking that one away. It's 3-1 in favor of Jin Air.
Very aggressive use of the ultimate there. The Abyssal Voyage looked like the sort of one that would be turned on. Of course, had Tucson struggle with similar moments at Rift Rivals, but this was with the enemy team all in full disengage. The smart movement there, but it seems like Crazy and Ignar aren't going to give up the Rift Herald or even the GP's laning without a fight.
Yeah, they still want this. Nova's still hovering nearby, and they can just call for Grace to roam back over. Now pushing them down. GP poking from the top side. Maybe Rift Herald just going to have to be abandoned by both teams.
Leash range of the Rift Herald is really, really far, so they do fully disengage. It's still overall BBQ get what they want. Teddy, meanwhile, will go back. He's got a Storm Razor and Swifty Boots for just the most damage. 231 already. He's got so many different ways to calculate. Didn't have his full rune page up, but I assume he is taking Celerity because of the multiple times scaling with the Jin fourth shot and also the Storm Razor. This is really, really powerful. This is even more strong than unnerfed Yomu's Ghostblade was on Jin back in the day. So Jin is a monster right now, and we talked about how the front line was going to be sturdy against him. Not this early in the game. There's no beef behind the Galio, the Gragas, or the Trundle just yet.
Well, things likely going to slow down for a bit here. We had our little moment of excitement. Kind of have to taper that off now. So 3-1 the lead. Coming in for Jin Air. They're up by about 2,000 gold, 13 minutes in. So, not that monstrous of a gold lead that they have at the moment. Oh!
So many indirect buffs to Jin. It's so weird that some champions are so itemization dependent on how their balance levels are, but Storm Razor is such a big power spike for Jin. The ability to proc it so reliably because you already have to take time between your autos with the fixed attack speed nature of the Jin. And the Deadly Flourish is something that doesn't count as an auto attack that you also delay your auto with. So he has insane burst potential. Speaking of burst.
Looking for a dive here on a Soan perhaps, but no one else really with Ignar at the moment. Trick to get a couple tower shots.
This has not been the best turret dive of all time.
Yeah, he's going to use the Subjugate, sidestep onto the True Shot Barrage. It seems like he's
How many people do we need? Get the Gragas in there.
Well, they're calling him in. They need the backup. That's going to be Barrage coming down, Ignar going low, so on. Remember that stopwatch that he never used? Well, he's got it now. Buys a little bit more time. It's really running them around. As Teddy and Nova bring up the wave onto the tier 2. They're not even going to get the tower because the wave is so far away.
Yeah.
They get a kill, but otherwise they get nothing.
Well, tempo is a word that exists, and unfortunately BBQ didn't look it up before this series because they have the least tempo trade ever. They're going to try to take the Drake, and Trick should be able to pick it up, but they've lost a lot to make this play happen.
Yes, they have. So, Mountain getting ready to
Does Ezreal want to walk up to the Jhin? The answer is yes, but with some element of risk. And overall, eventually BBQ will get some objectives, but yeah, not the cleanest dive ever.
Well, look at the tower eventually.
Do it crazy. Uh-oh. So one better not keep this up.
He might.
He will.
Yep.
Oops.
Another barrel.
That's another mistake.
And 153 remaining health on that tower.
Remember, we have to see all the games to know which the best teams are and what the best games are. So we always need extra information. We're learning things in this series. OGN Legion, Kilios and I.
Figure out how deep this rabbit hole goes.
I'm so excited to see Teddy pop off in team fights. He is going to be monstrously large. And so one keeps up the turret, so that's a boo-boo, we'll say.
It's either that or he's going to get deleted. It's one of those two things. I'm leaning much more closely to the former, but, you know, maybe the explosive cask or Hero's entrance on top of Pyke, who's just kind of ghosting his way into the back line. Maybe he just gets annihilated, but something
He has
tells
Tom
me it's
Kench,
fine.
and he's Teddy, so I'm going to reserve my judgment to the going to be just fine column.
Oh, sure. I'm saying it's going to be one or the other, but it's very likely to be the first one.
The Observer has been putting the knife in all day, just hovering things. When Ambition was out jungling Cuz in game 1, he just clicked on the Sejuani and then hovered over Ambition's name. And I'm like, what does this mean, Observer? Coming into the conversation, no words needed.
Well, that's going to be mid-tower going down. Charge gets it, so all the outers being broken. Top inner already prepped, and they'll even get this nice charge off here. Knock this next one down to about half. And then they just sack the Herald. You're fine. Your job here is done.
Shelly had a good one.
It was brief, but it was good.
Out of nowhere, Ghost has, because of his cheap build, got 2 items. That's at least good news for Ghost. Maybe he did some pilfering that we didn't see. He's down better part of 50 CS, and his team doesn't have any turrets, so that's quite a lot of items, all things considered, for how far behind he is. So one has a Trinity Force. Jhin will have Rapid Fire Cannon on next back and just do nuking damage to everybody. I mean, he's doing a lot of that already.
No one's really even tanky yet.
Nope.
And, yeah, he's going to hurt.
Shut up, guy. Have you noticed that the voices off screen have been way louder? I'm not talking about in my head. I'm talking about on the Rift.
Oh, yes, of course. For a second, you know, I was about to agree with you. I was like, yes, the voices in your head have been louder. I've been hearing them.
Whoa. We finished each other's mind sentences.
Sandwiches.
Oh, Arrested Development. Did you watch the new season? I didn't watch it.
I started it. It's not bad, but it just lacks that charm that the original series had. You know, the most recent season is just kind of like subpar. The one before that, The Return, when Netflix did their first season.
We're ready to see Teddy,
great.
by the way. Teddy has 356, 390 AD with Celerity, down to 325. His AD will keep bouncing around. It's actually fun to watch.
Yep.
Down to 301. But yes, he is really, really powerful. Take my word for it. Play it in solo queue. If you want some free low and you're going to play a marksman, which is risky, definitely Jhin, one worth visit.
The new season of Arrested Development, not so much. Might be able to avoid that.
I kind of stopped after season 3. I watched like 3 episodes of the new season, what, like 5 years ago, whenever it came out, and wasn't for me.
It just lacks the old feel that it used to have when it was on Fox. T pushing forward. He's got a sixth sense. He says, I think someone's in that bush.
Oh, and Collapse is coming in this time for BBQ.
TP coming in from the backside. Grace. A teammate TP onto him. It's going to be so on arriving. He's going to do body slam in onto the Anivia. Grace jumping away. Wall comes down. They're looking for the Gragas, and they're going to find it. Grace finds the first kill. Flash not connecting, and now Jin Air maybe just going to bring up the wave here to try to knock down that Tier 2 tower, but seems like they will go ahead and peel back, play this one out safely since Umpty's been chunked out.
Graysow played that really hard against the Gragas. That was some good flash timings, held onto everything, got away.
Yep.
Jin never even had to open up. They still have the curtain call. And Jin was not the punctuation needed to win that skirmish. Just a single kill. The side of Jin Air, but they get out the teleport from Crazy as well, so it means Teddy's safer next time. And Teddy's doing a lot of damage.
He is just charging forward. He's trying to brutally harass Tempt here. Well, he still only has 4 stacks on that Rod of Ages.
Well, this means we're going to see more Jin this season, so I'm excited because we have seen very little Jin and very little diversity. And when we do see marksmen, it's kind of been Varus, Ezreal, or bust most of the games.
Yeah, we haven't seen... When was the last time we saw Jin?
Would have been spring season. There was a little
final.
bit of proportion. That's right.
We had it in the final.
That's
when
true.
It could not build against his Rageblade.
That's right. Yes, well, this is post-Rageblade being a consideration there.
Yeah.
It's gone back. He's got a last whisper.
Now it's all about that Storm Razor.
It's not bugged on Jin like the Rageblade was
Yeah.
deemed to be, but it's bonkers on Jin.
Yeah, it's just a calculation issue with the Rageblade. BBQ's had a few miscalculations in this game already.
You know, it's been a rough season. BBQ,
It has.
they're definitely surprised that with all their marksman bans, Teddy's been able to pop off as hard as he has. Threatened the Jin earlier, went back to it, showing us how strong it can be. Got all the easy objectives down to Jin Air. This is the sort of area where Kingzone struggled to move the game forward. Remember that Jin, for all his strength in Siege, in terms of being able to open up in team fights from relative safety and not being in threat range, he's not the best Baron taker, so Jin Air will have to navigate around that. They fall back, they take down some easy structures. There's also the very fun synergy Achilles that we haven't talked about. Watching first for the Abyssal Voyage.
Ghost's gonna get jumped on. Big burst of damage coming through from Teddy. Manages to find the Rune Barrage in just for good measure. The wall him up, and Grace will take the kill. Hero's entrance gonna be used by Tempt, but there was no way in hell that was gonna keep him alive. And while this is going on, Umpty's being a good jungler, and he's gonna take the second Mountain Drake of the game over for his squad.
Tom Kench allows you to go around vision control. Not a thing that was available to Kingzone in the first series. Did have it in the first game, but the first game is very different to the second. In this one, though, Teddy walks up. They're going to take the turret they propped earlier. Point I was going to get to is that when you open up as Nocturne with the Paranoia, you're not even going to know where Jin is because he's going to be out of sight range for sure with the short sight range of the Paranoia. So a lot of safety for the Jin, who's already very powerful. Baron is that objective that for now is going to delay them, but they've already got an inner turret. Feels like every time BBQ put out their head, it's a bit of a whack-a-mole by Jin Air to put them down again.
Yeah. Just keep smacking them. BBQ now down by just shy of 6,000 gold. Needs some kind of massive, massive turnaround if they want to get a win here. Ignar just going to be clearing out vision in the pit for the moment. At least keeping that Baron wrapped up for BBQ so they can respond just in case Jin Air tries to go for it. But don't think that's going to happen unless they very convincingly win a fight.
Hard to see at the moment. Damage numbers quite low already. Seen some pretty significant outplay, and yes, you and also I imagine BBQ are upset that the turret is still up in the bot lane, as they haven't been able to take one yet. That's an interesting place to buy.
Yep.
For Crazy.
Blast Cone coming through. He'll get away this time.
See which of the last whisper choices it will be. Might be Lord Dominic's regards here by Teddy, as the Observer is really returning to the knife.
He is savage as hell today.
I feel like the Observer has decided he is now a part of our show. We have Joel as a unseen part of the show. Maybe the Observer show. The Observer could also be a part of the show. Who's next?
Good question.
Gotta get Andy in.
Yeah.
Even on his off days, Andy should be a part of the show. Our secondary translator.
Just be silently sitting behind us,
He could be. I haven't looked around recently.
staring at the camera.
Yeah, setting up for a siege. Not the most powerful in a siege setting.
Yeah, two-shot barrage going to clear out the minions for the most part. Teddy still getting some shots in. Seems like he'll be fine to go ahead and take up this tower. Doesn't even need the fourth hit to take it out.
You know, teleport's still down on Crazy because the Gangplank teleport at the same time.
Yep.
So, safe to walk up. Speaking of the Gangplank, pushing up to a second turret.
Yep, Triforce is here. Teddy's arriving. This tower is going to take quite a bit of damage, and Solon tries to zone them back. Find the hit, but turret just one hit away from going down. A lot of damage being layered into that Gragas. as the turret will fall. So that's going to be 6-0 in that regard. All of the inners taken.
3,000 gold lead purely on the Jhin. He is the biggest lead of anyone. 2,017, yeah, 2,000 gold lead for the Gangplank or so. It's where the eggs have hatched on the side of Jhin after this big lead. Teddy walks away. He's feeling good. He's going to go buy his Lord Dominic's regards. You would imagine. Seems like BBQ are watching this game unfold in front of them. 8,000 gold behind at 24 minutes. Don't seem to have any real way to get back into the game.
Yeah, highly unlikely. I think BBQ, if anything, probably should just be planning ahead mentally for game number 2. We'll bounce back and get a victory there.
Teddy's now an even bigger boy. He's got a BF sword on top of the Lord Dominic's. He might actually lose damage if he's not auto-attacking. Not often you say that for Jhin. Jin's usually about his spells. Auto-attack Jhin. Let's go. Hail of Blades.
What a strange world we live in now.
And wait, just watch. OGN Observer, I know you're not listening to the English cast, but listen to me. We need to see the numbers go up as Jhin goes through his team fights and the Hail of Blades activates. It's a 489.
494 right there.
It goes higher, don't worry. He hasn't auto-attacked to champion yet.
475.
Hail of Blades is on champion order. I assume the Korean casters are also talking about the Hail of Blades.
They had to have mentioned it for sure. Seems like he's going to be handing off the blue buff here to Teddy. No. Oh, come on. You can get it. I believe. There you go. I just had to reload a couple times.
I think Teddy's just saying, hey, let me farm. My Infinity Edge is on the way. It's fine, guys. But he's feeling strong. Again, the relevant buff to Stormrazor was on the hotfix, making it so only rapid fire cannon gives you enough critical strike to get the 200% crit from the Stormrazor. Before it was 60%, now just 30.
Well, BBQ have to push a massive man advantage to try to get the red buff, but Teddy's going to take it away. Deadly Flourish just comes down. He says, thank you very much. And, man, will the Observer go back to the red pit in a minute? We'll have to find out. Getting blocked off here for the moment. Yeah, we'll have to just go ahead and flash over the pillars. Some decent pressure there. At least get that out of the Nocturne. So if he dives into the back, he is truly all on his lonesome.
I like the combo from another team in a different game. It might work. The Trundle Pillar and the Bone Skewer over the pillar is very annoying to deal with. It's a fun combo to think about for future team comps. So one goes back to a side lane. So much turn with the Paranoia and the Cannon Barrage. He has no worries about not being group level 3 Cannon Barrage available. Ignar spots someone over the wall.
And he's going to get jumped out. One more shot would do it. The Deadly Flare is not going to hit, but now we have the curtain call opening up. And Ghost, unfortunately, has the body block, but he's not going to be able to. Thinks at 4th and final, he'll get chunked down below half HP. And Jhin going to be looking to open up this mid-inhib turret. Teddy is doing so much damage on these 4th shots, but fortunately for BBQ, the True Shot Barrage did eliminate the majority of the wave, but they have another one moving up in the bot lane, escorted by Soan.
He only got 3 shots in. It was 2 autos on the Pike, and then just the last.
Oh, Kaz comes in. That's a taunt. Teddy's going to go down. Nice play here from BBQ, and now Jhin without their Jhin will go have to peel back. A lot of missing shots coming through from Ghost, trying to lock down either Soan or Grace. And Abyssal Voyage is going to be used for the retreat.
That was one of the best Gragas ults I've ever seen. He got the Jhin towards them and knocked the Tahm Kench away out of the range for the Devour. Excellent play, I'd have to say, by Crazy. By far the best moment of the game. Maybe this Crazy top lane Gragas, good choice.
I'd say it's probably the best cast that we've seen today.
Yeah, definitely. That was sick. No irony around that. Excellent play by Crazy.
Yep.
They get the kill off. They delay the turret going down.
Soan. Okay. He just wants to win.
He's just farming. Crazy will back away, and unfortunately probably not in service of a win, but let's see a replay on the cask here. Consider what he's able to do. The pillar into the cask. Interesting. The pillar radius and the cask is a very fun interaction that we can also talk about.
I mean, made even better that he just completely knocked Nova the opposite direction, so there was no chance for Devour.
Beautiful.
So, wonderfully done. Great coordination. Just need a lot more of that, BBQ.
And again, for me,
try to get control.
And for me, it's a metaphor of BBQ is that there really is good stuff around BBQ's team comp, around BBQ's players. They have talented players. Unfortunately, together, it's not a working scenario. Maybe it will be like the CJ 2016 squad, where we'll have these players around the LCK in the future as big parts of strong teams. Maybe they'll stay together and improve. We're not to know. But BBQ right now, already 10,000 gold behind. Probably not going to be able to replicate the pick on Teddy again. Imagine Nova going to have the buddy system a little bit more razor sharp.
Well, they buy some time, but doesn't really net them much globally, as BBQ still has yet to take a single tower. Root coming down. Locks up the pike for the moment. Now the wall coming in. Curtain call opened up. Teddy going hunting, but hasn't gotten any connections yet. Final shot will go through onto Trick, but he'll be okay for the most part.
And he really wants to frontline because of his catch
Oh,
away, but he gets
well,
caught.
he's going to be pulled in there by the Bone Skewer. Still trades back a lot of damage onto Ignar. Root gonna miss. Pillar comes down, but no cast to follow up this time.
Very risky to play frontline Jin. You understand why, because of how strong he is, but the Tahm Kench needs to be there. Cast can ruin it all. So we're watching here very closely. Jinair got the control wards on Baron. No Baron start yet. Walks around, but not going to swoop in 1v5.
Yeah, just trying to clear out that control ward. BBQ trying to keep him away from it. It's just going to be poking out in that vicinity. Finish it off. No inhibs broken at the moment.
1,300 gold in the inventory for Teddy. He's got Infinity Edge on next back. Only Gathering Storm is on Galio, so for once, you don't see Gathering Storm on Teddy. I assume because he's running Celerity, but I'm not 100% clear on his rune choices here.
Well, Infinity Edge done, ready to go.
He is, a god of damage, but if he gets popped, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Maybe want to see something like a Guardian Angel come through for him. Cask coming down, completely gonna whip this time. Crazy, not able to follow up. The backside of that last one. Barrage comes through, but not gonna get too much of a lockdown. But now Crazy, isolated on the side. He goes in for the Paranoia. Tries to lock him down. A couple more shots will do it. Teddy finds the kill, even gets the root onto Ignar, who's gonna go golden. But he's got nowhere to go. He's surrounded. Teddy comes up with a double
kill. He's gonna flash on Ghost. Oh,
I wonder.
Doesn't have the flash.
He doesn't have it.
Do a lot of damage to him. Backs up. Looking at the AD numbers here, 648 AD. As he was going through some of the proxer, Halo Blaze now times out. Goes all the way down again. Teddy turns onto the Baron. Turns out they have Baron secure. It's a Teddy crit.
Yep. And also Grace is just going to be locking them out a bit too early. Otherwise, could have been a bit of a heart attack moment there for Jinair. But they get the Baron here. Just over 31.5 minutes. Go back to base, spend some of this gold. Get ready to rejoin.
Observer showing you the AD changing. He does have Celerity to confirm. You know that because his AD went up when he was getting the home guard benefit. I still feel like we haven't seen the biggest number yet. We stay with the Jin. We're going to see some massive numbers as you get an insane amount of attack speed. Halo Blade scales up to 125% attack speed at level 18. If you've ever bought a Zeal item on Jin, you know it gives you a nice amount of AD. So we're getting to Crazy Town very soon.
And that's why he just dumped all of his control wards that he still had and just picks up another Zeal. He's getting ready to roll. So, yeah, this is it's going to be Jin with quite a bit of damage coming through. You can see not even the fourth shot is still registering on the minions for over 1,100.
So it's going to get bigger.
It's just going to be disgusting levels of damage. Teddy is going to make Jin look like released Zoe.
I'm ready for it. He's going to have to auto-attack for it to happen. 803 AD during that. And again, Halo Blaze still hasn't been procced.
Yep.
So we're ready to go. We're very excited about the Jin and his attack speed. In the team fights, granting him AD.
It's like the Vagar of AD carries.
It's getting there with as many effects coming as someone's in a lot of trouble.
Well, he's pinned into the corner. There's going to be the Bone Skewer to pull him back. Pretty tanky here on this gangplank. And yeah, he says, you know what? Give me everything you got. Come kill me. Death from Below manages to get the kill, but that's going to be an inhibitor traded out for the gangplank, and I think that Jinair is going to be pretty satisfied with that trade.
With BBQ's low wave clear against Baron, you're probably not repelling a push 5v5, so I guess they got a kill. Only problem is that you still have a lot of Baron to deal with. That's the frustration. If that actually delays the Baron more, it's probably worth in the end. I guess you'd have to err on not worth, but it was close. If you have strong wave clear, don't make that play. If your wave clear is unreliable, consider it.
How much are you going to hit that tower for, Teddy?
The auto attack to champion, he's up to 926, 957 AD. It's just bouncing around, up and down 200. Insane how calculations go.
Just trying to chunk away at the Gragas here. Get a bit of damage in. Expect one more shot, honestly, on this tower would take it out, but now doesn't have a minion wave
They have,
built up.
they have the flash cask open, so might try a crazy play here. Ignar around the side, TP defensively from the GP.
Yeah, just going to be coming in, so on, looking to rejoin. T bringing up the minions there in the mid lane, adding that pressure from the side and threatening the paranoia. Pillar comes down, turret's going to fall. Just clearing out some of the vision here as they start looking for the inhibitor. You can see just the little taps coming through, ripping that thing to shreds. 803 on the inhibitor with the fourth and final shot.
Watching though, slow and steady. There is a lot of ranged interrupts to the curtain call here if you can get in range. The pillar, the cast, there is the cast.
Hits him into the side. Teddy gonna go down below half HP. Boneskewer pulls them back, but no one can follow up for the kill. True Shot Barrage weakens him even further, but that's two inhibitors now down for the side of BBQ.
Ignar looking for a pick. Pretty greedy recall spot, but with Baron recall. Decided to take a risk. It was the last bit of the Baron. Go back away. They still get the inhibitor. Base broken in two spots. Two inhibitors down. BBQ couldn't find a roll of the dice that time. Now find themselves 13,000 gold down.
They're still a ways away from an Elder Dragon. Cloud Drake's been just chilling out for the last little bit here. Jin Pink's coming through, so it seems like they just want to go ahead and get rid of that.
Is there an attack speed cap for Jin? Does he get diminishing returns if it gets to a theoretical 2.5 attack speed? Because as you guys may or may not know, Jin doesn't scale off attack speed. He gets AD off attack speed, but champions can only get 2.5 attack speed. So given all the sources of attack speed and AD multipliers he has, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is there a part where more attack speed doesn't give Jin AD is kind of the question I'm asking aloud. Still, we've had a lot of time to ruminate on Jin because this game has been very one-sided for the better part of the 36 minutes. Jin games do drag out a little bit more because of his lack of Baron speed, but good Baron secure. Two inhibitors down, BBQ, one roll of the dice left open.
Oh, looking for Teddy yet again. They poop him through. The Devour comes down from Nova this time to try to keep him alive, but he does not have the flash. He'll spit him out, and they're going to go down. BBQ trying to turn things around just as Punch goes forward, finds the hit there onto So-On, but he gets treated back a lot of damage from the barrels. Jin fight their way out. Two kills picked up here by BBQ. They alleviate a lot of pressure, but they still have two inhibs dead.
Crazy's casks and the engages have been good against Jin. It's unfortunate that they are in such a big hole already. Doesn't matter. Flash into as the pillar comes in. The cask was beautifully done. By the time Nova devours, unfortunately, Teddy is so low that he just dies to the ultimate there. From all of it, they once again are able to abate a strong push from Jin have 4 Drakes. They have the inside track on the map. A gold is coming to the side of BBQ. You still fancy Jin and the ensuing fights, but you can see that it's becoming more and more difficult for them to take some objectives, and they keep rolling up to them and sieging when, you know, the comp wasn't really built for sieging.
Well, back into the bot lane. Looking to try this one yet again. Teddy does have the TP, but seems like he's just going to run this one out.
Observe. Stop it, Observer. They're already dead.
He's so savage, though. Oh, dear. It's still sitting at the same value. It hasn't taken a single auto attack from a minion ever since that dive onto So-On. True Shot Barrage burned out just to try to thin the wave coming through. Galliard does a decent job of that. Pillar going to be used. Devour down.
On cooldown for a while, but this time Crazy not going to be able to pull the cask out. They already have 2 inhibitors, so they have run of the map. They could fall back and take the Baron as Teddy trolls his teammate and bounces Grace away. Take that, Grace, says Teddy. Don't know why he's still farming. He has no more items to buy.
He could sell his boots. Not that he wants to, but he could.
Teddy can do a lot of things. Can also die very quickly, as we found a couple of times. Here we
Flash
go.
up the wall, gets the root still onto the Trundle. T throws up the ult, but doesn't want to dive in there. Might be a bit too risky for him. They still have about a minute left on his top inhibitor before it respawns.
Flash down on Trick, Crazy, and Tempt is important. Means more safety for Teddy.
Spotted out there by the sweeper. Ignar keeping his team safe and in the know. No route to be found. Now looking for the cask on Grace. He's going to flash to the other side. Keeps himself alive.
Jin Yeah, definitely conspiring for their own downfall. This was,
Oh, my
boy.
lord. That's just half HP.
Yuck is the only way to put it. But Jin Air so far, Teddy in the front line. Nova is not fast enough to keep up with him. That is a problem. He's actually too damn fast for his own Tahm Kench to save him.
Yep. Ghost uses the true shot. Trying to clear that wave in the bottom side, make sure that's not pushing forward because they know that they have to stick around here in the mid lane. Now it's going to be a jump in onto Trick. He gets locked down. He gets taken out. Teddy
There's one.
finds the kills. That was only 2 auto attacks, I believe.
That is Trick going down. The smite is down. Should be Baron here for Jin Air. No ability to steal it cleanly. Wait to see what the BBQ decision is. For now, it seems just to fall back.
Yeah. Take this one out. BBQ going to be looking for another pick-off with that explosive cast. Try to keep themselves in the game.
Teddy could sell his boots just to break the AD record because he has Baron now. He's running out of ways. That's a 40-minute Baron. That's actually the maximum AD you can get from Baron. There's no Elder Drake interaction because they don't have any Infernals. Why are we on the Gragas? Please give us Jin for record-breaking purposes.
Pick up a Death Stance, why not? Much damage going through onto Crazy. Move down to about half. Teddy works his way through this mid inhib yet again. Wave being brought up top by Umti, so they can try to get the double inhib take yet again. And you can see down below the wave, pretty far away. That wave actually might be able to push in and take that tower, Papa.
Maybe. It's probably unlikely because the minions are stronger because they still have 2 turrets up, so they still have that old interaction involving side turrets.
True.
Jin Air push up. Here's a curtain call.
All right, we'll just open with this. True Shot Barrage goes straight into the minions. Not going to be affecting Teddy at all.
Missing
A little
health
bit of
damage. Not relevant there, of course.
Body slam.
Hey!
Nice devour. Nova actually going to get booped back with Teddy in his belly.
That was well played this time. Got his eye in finally, Nova. Usually an engaged support. Now trying to make the Tahm Kench work. Teddy walks forward. 2 autos would kill that. Look at that. You were right. Nicely done.
They did it.
Nicely done, Achilleos. Jin Air desperately don't want to have Teddy die again. It's happened too many times. But man, sieging with a Jin, not that easy.
Certainly not. Well, just going to be some nice, satisfying minion clear and bot for so on.
I enjoyed it.
The minions did.
Aurelia's my new,
my
new Craigasm moment.
That's
when she
great.
just sweeps through and gets all the last hits.
Yeah, just keep dash resetting through. She's always been good for that. But, well, they can't finish it off. Still taking damage.
And there's no Gathering Storm on Teddy,
Yep. Oh, man.
for once.
Would have been ridiculous.
Infernals would have been ridiculous as well.
That's
but sadly, no Infernals
BBQ.
for record-taking Jin in this game.
got to be really thankful for the lack of Infernal Drakes. Imagine if he just had 3 of those stacked up. But Elder going to be started up, already knocked down to about half HP, but the disengage coming through as the TPs come in from Tempt and from Ghost.
A lot of respect being shown by Jin Air. They should win a terrain fight with the wall, you'd think, but because they don't have the strongest front line, they're playing very respectfully.
Lockdown onto Trick yet again to try to open things up. Big crit coming through. Teddy knocked down a half, however. Will go ahead and start kiting his way back. He's still threatening, but doesn't find a moment to dive in.
Well, that Death Stance you alluded to would be recommended at some point, as that would give him a bit of life leech that he doesn't have, relying on the double Ocean Drake in this game. Definitely seeing some conundrums here for Jin Air. It's very unlikely, but still we're seeing that the fights in the end are much closer than we were led to believe. Right around the Elder here. Jin Air still showing respect. The Baron's going to time out before they actually get a fight.
Yeah. Because of the positioning here from BBQ, they're catching the wave in mid. They're keeping that contained, so it's not threatening the Nexus towers at all. Jin Air instead, just going to try to get an inside track onto the bottom side. Crazy. Starting to wrap around. They will burn through this tower before the rest of BBQ can arrive. But can they get out safely is going to be the question. They go ahead and kite back, not overcommitting for the inhib.
They have so little force if the enemy doesn't come to them. They don't have an Ornn or anything like that. Just the slows from the kits and Grace being outranged. Means that we're in this kind of standstill. Jin Air have been so far in the lead for the better part of 30 minutes, but unable to actually close the game. Ignar, of all people, is the wave clear champion in top.
Push coming yet again into the bottom side as Umti is just rotating around his squad, playing on the opposite ends, trying to get rid of that top inhibitor. So on, trying to prep some barrels. If he can get some initial bursts, that would certainly open up some space for them to push forward.
And they fall one with Nocturne's ult.
A little bit, stun coming through, just change the CC, the wall comes down, crazy. Barely will be able to get out of here with his life. Shots coming through from the curtain call. He's firing him out blind. The tag on to Ghost, gonna miss that last one, but they get the inhibitor in the end.
Zoning enough from the curtain call there after they had DPS'd out crazy. They're gonna fall back to the Elder, take this one down, as it could just be Umti dying.
It's looking to be that way. The jump away there from the Pike, he'll dash over with the ultimate, flashes out right as he gets popped. Guardian Angel gonna res him back through, but it's like they're gonna fall. Umti really trying to kill off the Pike as best as he can. Has that Elder Dragon, but will get taken out by Tempt in the end. But it's 4 members with 4 Dragon buffs here on the Elder, so still gonna be very, very strong.
In case you're wondering, he was trying to juke the Pike so he didn't give Pike the bonus gold. So 2 people didn't get the kill credit. That's why he's playing around with his directions. Seeing that the Baron buff power play was only 1,500 gold to the quick maths there. And you can see there was only 1,500 bonus to Jin Air, so their lead is definitely not growing at the rate it was earlier.
Well, it's getting less and less like it,
relevant, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really matter that much. Everybody's getting ready to start rolling through their 6th items.
Well, Jin decided he didn't want Death Dance, but he doesn't have boots anymore. He has the Guardian Angel. Not a really big fan of the purchase, because if he dies once, I think they're already in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And he went back and bought Swifties because he could. Thanks, Jin. Thanks, Teddy.
All right. Oh, wait. Will he now get a Death Stance? He doesn't have that much gold.
No, I think he's going to repot. Yeah, he repots.
Okay.
Not often that you buy a luxury GA that you instantly discard. That's like buying a Gucci handbag. Man, this is rubbish. And going back to your usual one.
Throwing it straight
Your
into the
usual
garbage
Christian Dior handbag.
You are naming some names that I don't even know.
My mom likes handbags.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are things you accidentally learned about that your parents enjoyed. What is like the topic that you're the least engaged in that you know a lot about?
That's a good question, honestly. I don't know.
Not cars or some other kind of variable. Come on, get back to me, Achilles. You got time.
I'll think about it.
Well, Jin Air have been thinking about how to close this game for a while. It's not the most trivial because their lack of frontline. They've gotten a lot of buffs, but they try to siege and they realize they only have a Jin who gets bounced into many times. And BBQ are giving up everything easy and just hanging back, and it's really frustrating Jin Air. And then, randomly, it could be 50 minutes, death time is long, and you lose the game.
It could be 50 more minutes, and we can break another record. Let's see if it comes down to that.
Usually I'm the one that brings us back to the Achilles and Papa Smithy 94 minutes to dream game.
Yeah, you know, I've realized that if I don't want to have the flashbacks, that I just have to kind of embrace it.
Can you embrace that game?
Very awkward.
Well, Jin are trying to embrace the Baron, but it's frustrating them for now. This will be their 3rd Baron of the game. And Ivia's like, I wish I had some more range.
Umti is getting destroyed right now.
Wait, he actually lost his more. Wait.
Hello?
He juked into more damage, but found some honey fruit. Not the most nutritious trade ever.
Still a ways away from having that Guardian Angel backup as well. So now he doesn't have a Ball Mount Mortius or a Guardian Angel. And he's got to go back to base. Teddy can clear the vision, but I know Umti's popped it, but he doesn't get into a position where he can legitimately dive in anymore with his Nocturne. I think he's maybe dived once in this game. And if he's done it more, then I just don't remember.
Well, this game has been aggressively nothing happening for a very long time. Apart from looking at big AD numbers, there hasn't been much to look at. Jin Air are getting so frustrated they can't finish the game. I'm sure the comms have been rampant for the better part of 20 minutes because they know they're ahead. BBQ know they're ahead. And the end result has been inaction because they've been punished a couple of times. The easy objectives have been taken. 3 inhibitors exposed, 1 of them down for the side of BBQ. Consider BBQ have 1 turret. Well, sorry, 1 turret all game. Mid lane Outer still up.
And the minions
Lane
got
Outer
it.
still up. Yeah.
Well, Inhibs getting ready to come back through. 30 more seconds on bot. No pressure on those next turns whatsoever. And Jin Air come to a classic stall moment where they just don't know what to do to try to end the game.
Teddy's decided that it's no longer about the Storm Razor. He's actually sold the Storm Razor.
Oh, he has.
Not going to get as many auto attacks often. Greeting for auto attacks has hurt them a little bit, but
Yeah.
it now means he doesn't really do damage to the front line,
I think
Achilles.
he actually sold it a while ago now that I think about it. I've seen this Mercurial in his inventory for quite some time.
You can, of course, forgive us. He's changed his items 3,000 times.
Yeah.
But
No.
to be fair, he realizes that every time he went for an auto, he got Trundle pillared into stunned into cast, so now he can't greed for autos.
Oh.
But
Almost kills Trick, forces the flash out of the Trundle at least.
he's still powerful, but the front line is getting tankier. And the spell was going to be less relevant. We see when he opens up with Curtain Call, it hasn't done much. This is the Jin of old against the frontliners.
All right. Okay, dive coming through, double taunt, gonna connect, and you can see the temp does a lot of damage. It's empty. Well, he might just be losing that Guardian Angel again. Explosive Cast gonna be juked out, but he's still gonna be cut off. Ignar pushing forward, looking for So On. Get burned down, tries to flash away. In the meantime, the rest of Jin Air looking to get that Baron. Managed to take it out. So on doing a lot of damage here to Ignar. We're looking for the execution. A lot of hits in on the Ghost, but death from below does come in. Take down the GP. Now it's 9-9. The kills coming in, but Baron on 3 members for Jin Air.
The pressing question, Achilles, we have to get to is BBQ going to win this game? Because they have gotten to a point where Jin no longer does big damage to their front line. They have this Ezreal, who's going to do a lot of damage to Nocturne, to GP, to every member of Jin Air. They're going to push through the mid lane. It won't be in this moment, but BBQ actually may take game 1.
They're trying for it. Another turret going down. Teddy not getting that much done with the Curtain Call. Trick yet again.
Oh!
Gets chunked out, takes that tower shot. Oh, he's so low! He's not gonna die.
Him dying to the turret would be the most Jin Air versus BBQ game 1
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Party buzz killer. He was at about 30 health, maybe less. Look at his health regen. Consider it was about 15 seconds ago now, so he would have been around 30. Good job, Winians. Get your second turret. Yeah!
BBQ's taken 4 in total.
50% Winians. BBQ might win this game, where they were so far behind.
I know.
And yet, it wouldn't be the most remarkable Jin Air game of this year. In fact, there's probably 5 ahead of it.
Oh, boy.
Well, here comes tanked Ezreal. We laughed at his tank build in lane when he had to build the Glacial Shroud against Teddy, who was popping off.
Well, look at me now, Mom!
Well, now he's got all the buffs, given that he has a Zeke's and also a Knight's Vow. He changed to a Trinity Force. He's gone full damage, and there's no way for Teddy to configure his damage in the way an Ezreal can because of the nature of his kit. So, actually, the Ghost is in a great spot to do damage, and he's against squishies, so BBQ, show me a victory. I feel like the host of Wheel of Fortune at this point.
Which door is it behind?
Show me an A?
Yeah.
No, there's no A in the word, really? No, I'll play. Well, the Gathering Storm,
I would like a
getting
Valkyrie.
comical now. 120 AP on Tempt.
I mean, that's insane. All right. Jin Air, you got a minute left of Baron. You can't get close to the inhibitors.
Remember, 42 minutes left. We're getting closer, Achilles.
Yep.
Open your eyes, don't leave them closed. I know you're having flashbacks.
I'm trying to wake myself up thinking that this is a nightmare.
How could you close your eyes? BBQ could win this
Oh.
game.
Instant Devour on that cast. Teddy, I don't even take damage from that explosion. He had just bought the Death's Dance.
No, no Death's Dance. Only this dance between Jin Air and BBQ. Don't you wish they could dance forever?
This is the worst dance I've ever seen. This is worse than the Harlem Shake.
I'm amused that Ignar is still level 16. Nova on the winning team, level 17. You'd think there was more experience. There's no on items for me to shout about. So at least there's no one to wave the finger at. Wraith was the offender in that game. How many members do we have from that game? Teddy? I think, was Justice playing in that game? He might have been. I think he was.
I don't recall.
Really? I think it's 3 for Jin Air. I don't remember if it was Grace or Justice.
I want to say it was Grace.
I think it was Justice.
We'll need somebody to fact check that for us. Temp just knocking his head into the wall with that Justice Punch. Speaking of Justice.
Well,
Elder Dragon's here.
I don't know who the Justice favors on, whether it's Jin Air or BBQ winning this game. One, to be honest.
Well, I think that it's all going to be decided right here. So on to the top lane. Going to bring up the minion wave, but it's going to have to TP soon if he's going to do it at all.
This ult doesn't do any damage, so it's
Grace has
fine.
already flashed.
Again, they don't care
Elder Dragon's
about
going to
it.
leash back in.
So much for the smite here. Umti's around.
Not fully falling apart. Crazy going low. Dragon, 1100's taken away. It's actually Nova that finds the steal, but Umti's going to die. Now Trick stuck inside the pit, eliminated. 2 kills. Over to Jin Air.
Ghost needs to do damage. Ghost needs to get in there.
This should just about be it. Ghost tries to get in there, but he immediately gets ripped to shreds. Kill goes over to Grace. Tempt, gonna get popped. Petty finds it. And that should be game.
How do we not know?
Sanity,
How do we
should
not know?
be game.
The 55-minute Elder had to be the place. They're going to win the game off that play. Unfortunately, Ghost just couldn't put out the damage. Zoned out for too long. And Jin Air GreenWings do play off their successful 15 minutes, but at 55.
And Nova finds the steal as the Tom Kench on the Elder Dragon in the end. TP into the enemy base here from Teddy. We'll have a bit of a celebration at the fountain, but man, you can see from their faces, they're not excited about that win. That was way harder than they would have ever anticipated. Umti just looks shattered. He's just like, oh God, there's at least one more of these.
I think they have come to the same realization as you, Achilleos. They realize that was only game number 1 between Jin Air and BBQ. The victory was definitely earned by Jin Air, but then it was spurned. Honestly, by the end, it seemed like BBQ were going to win this game number 1. BBQ were going to be close to what seems like their most winnable match left in their schedule. But Jin Air win, except no one would know it by the reaction cam. They look shattered.
Yeah, looks like they just lost out of playoffs. Whereas BBQ, this is maybe a bit more of a familiar feeling.
I mean, it's the cruelest feeling. It actually came back towards them. The pendulum was in the pockets of the enemy team, but it was within their grasp, taken away. And while the losing feeling may be becoming the norm, not quite like this was probably their expectation coming into game number 1.
We'll have to get ready for game 2. See if they can take this one back. We'll go ahead and get a look at the fight as it broke out here around the Elder Dragon. So starting things off, Curtain Call obviously not doing much, just trying to put some pressure in, but Crazy has to flash out. Dragon goes low. I think it's a tongue lash maybe that just seals it here.
We thought Ghost might be the difference here, but he's feared in the corner of the pit, and when he arcane shifts completely out, he doesn't do any further damage. BBQ, while they have a strong front line, not towards the Elder. It's a beautiful flash from Tempt.
Oh, yeah.
No ability for Ghost to put out damage.
Nova actually had Smite. Didn't even realize that one. I didn't see it.
The spell book, baby.
I stopped paying attention to so many things other than the fights.
Well, let's give you a couple of minutes to reset, but then Achilles, you're going to need your attention because this series, it's going to rage on.
It's all right. Chug some coffee, maybe an energy drink. We'll get ready to go back in. Gonna need it. Guys, we're going to a break. When we come back, never mind. It's the damage charts.
Got trolled by the damage chart. Most damage done by Jin.
I'm going to count to 5 and reset.
We're probably going to give the viewers a bit more than 5, but your mental games are fine.
All right, we're back in. So, yeah, 43,000 in 55 minutes. Teddy coming out on top, as you would expect. But, man, what a marathon. 55 and a half minutes in this meta is certainly uncommon, Papa Smithy. I think if we were back in old meta, this definitely would have been a 90-minute game.
Well, whether it's the current meta, the new meta, the old meta, it's Jin Air. You know how it's always going to go. A fun-filled game 1, even if it dragged in amusing fashion.
Drag is a good way to put it. It definitely was a bit of one. But all right, guys, that's game 1 in the books. Jin Air just need one more victory to close this out. Get another 2-0. We'll see if they can pull it off when we come back from the break. Otherwise, BBQ going to try to take us to a third and final game.